In this video, we're going to talk about Tevin Coleman and if he can be fantasy relevant with the Jets. Let's do it! Yeah! What's going on, guys? It's Bruce Matson, your host of the show, Metric Scout Fantasy Football, the channel that talks about all things fantasy football, dynasty, redraft, DFS, go deep in the rookie drafts, a lot of scouting. If that's something you're into, click that subscribe button so you're not missing out. This episode was a request from a subscriber over on TikTok, of all places. Wanted me to talk about Tevin Coleman and how he could be fantasy relevant for the Jets. How does he fit, if it's possible, and just give a brief rundown. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here for the people, and that's what I want to do here for you guys today. I'm going to talk about Tevin Coleman. You know what? I probably should have done a video like this prior. I probably shouldn't have been asked to, really. But it just kind of slipped my mind because, Tevin Coleman's had a very weird career. He was very promising coming out of Indiana. He had a 43.2% dominator rating. He did well at the combine. Good size adjusted athlete. 83rd percentile size adjusted speed score. 4.44 40-yard dash. Although that's a long time ago, coming out for the draft, he looked like a very promising prospect. Average 7.5 yards per carry at Indiana. I mean, what more could you do? Had some receiving chops. Then we get him in Atlanta, and we're just wishing for him to get more opportunity. We're wishing for him to get more run. Injuries played a count with that. He had his first major season in his second year, though, age 23. He rushed for 8 touchdowns, 520 yards. He ran with some pop. Saw 40 targets and caught 31 balls that year. And then in 2017, decent season for a guy getting part-time work. 628 yards, 5 touchdowns, 27 receptions, almost 300 yards off that. So one thing you see out of his profile, he does catch the ball in the backfield. And his best year was in 2018 from a statistical standpoint. Had 800 rushing yards and 4.8 yards per attempt. So not too bad there. He hasn't cracked 1,000 yards yet. He had a short stint with the Niners in 2019, 2020. Again, injuries played a big factor here. And now he's with the Jets. Can he... I can't say revive, because it wasn't really like he was gangbusters throughout his career, but can he have a late breakout and become like an RB2 or a spot starter, per se, this year with the Jets? One thing is, he's back with Mike LaFleur, who he played with in Atlanta, and he played with in San Francisco. LaFleur went to the Jets this year. He's going to be their offensive coordinator. Those two guys have some history together. He knows the offense. LaFleur knows Coleman. There could be a reunitement there, which could help both parties. The depth chart is very favorable. We have LaMichael Pirine. I don't disrespect Pirine at all. I like him. 4th-round rookie from last year. And I don't think he's a stud or anything. I think he's a guy that'd be a good, decent NFL player, get some carries, be a good guy in a committee. But he's a player you want to keep an eye on. Ty Johnson's got speed for days, so he's a guy that, if you get him in space, he can be electric. And then Tevin Coleman's the veteran. They needed a veteran presence in this group. What makes Tevin Coleman stand out among these lower-level draft prospects who have some characteristics that could make him stand out in this Jets offense is that, 1, he's a veteran. 2, he's a one-cut downhill runner and get downfield. He's explosive. He has speed. Injuries have been a major bugaboo for him, though. He's been often injured throughout his career, and I wouldn't be surprised if that creeps up again here in 2021. It's a light contract, so they're not married to him. Another thing I want to watch out for is the Jets have, I think, 9 picks in this year's draft. And I would not be surprised if they spend one of those on a running back, whether it's mid or late. Drafts are drafts. They get chaotic. You never know what a team's going to do. So I wouldn't be surprised if they bring in another running back. Again, lighter contract. And then more than likely they're drafting Zach Wilson. What's this offense going to look like? Are they going to keep Sam Darnold? I know they upgraded the passing game with Corey Davis. Denzel Mims should take a step forward. Crowder's solid in the slot. This offense could click this year. I mean, we have a lot of changes. If Tevin Coleman's the main back, and he should get a good opportunity to at least win that job, then he could be fantasy relevant for at least a few weeks. When I look at his ADP at dynastyleaguefootball.com, it's non-existent. He's not being drafted, so he's free right now. You can just pick him up. You can pick him up, draft him as late as you want in drafts. I imagine that's going to change if he gets any buzz. I tried looking up his FFPC, ADP, high stakes leagues that are going on right now, and his ADP is non-existent too. So that tells me that there's a lot of people who are counting him out right now. I understand. I'm not really on board. I don't think he's going to be a thing, really. I think there's a potential opportunity. I think there's potential of him getting touches and a workload. I think there's a lot of potential of him stringing together a solid amount of weeks here. I think he could be a good buy this year if you have larger rosters, if you have space. In the summer months, as we get closer to regular fantasy drafts in August or so, if he's destined to win the job, then his ADP is going to shoot up because running backs that are getting touches are going to have a place in fantasy, whether they're good or not. And Tevin Coleman has the potential to be good. He's always had that. His usage in the passing game is what's going to fuel him in PPR, and Mike LaFleur knows that. Obviously, he's had Mike LaFleur's career, and Tevin Coleman's pretty much had Mike LaFleur with him his whole career. So they know each other. They know the offensive scheme, and LaFleur knows what Coleman's capable of. I guarantee they want to use him on passing down work, and that can make him valuable. I think the call out of wanting me to do a video on him for his Fantasy Football Outlook was a good call because he's highly under the radar. He's super cheap, and if you want him, get him. If you want him, get him. If you're a Jets fan, you want him, just get him. See what happens. If it falls on his face, what do you got to lose? You paid nothing to get him. What? You dropped a couple shekels. Tevin Coleman does Tevin Coleman things. You're not out nothing. If he hits, you just hit like Dogecoin would hit or something like that. Tevin Coleman's Dogecoin. That's pretty much it. He is free and has some upside considering he's got a pathway to a scale amount touches. When he was playing at San Francisco, he earned a 16.3 opportunity share last year when he was on the field. So it's not like he's not good enough to take touches from other running backs. He has the potential to do that here with the Jets. He has a very good opportunity. It's not like LaMichael Piron's a stud. It's not like Ty Johnson's a stud. They have traits and where they can win on the field. They have potential. They're decent, like mid-late round guys when they were drafted. But Tevin Coleman, if he's anything what his profile was back in the day when he was coming out from Indiana, he should be able to win this job easily. Injuries have been a thing. This will be his year 28 season. So it's really put up or shut up time for him, or his career is going to be almost done. So a lot's riding on him for right now, but he does have some potential. From how I see it, how I view it, I feel like if he stays healthy, he could have a decent season. But I see him being stagnated by an offense that is retooling or rebuilding or just building or whatever you want to call it. And I also see injuries getting in the way. They haven't not been in the way, so why not they get in the way now? And I feel like he can string together a few good weeks, be a good spot starter, but he's someone you don't want to be married to. He's someone you don't want to invest in, but you're not going to need to invest in. He's a guy that you just throw in your roster, see what happens, and if it doesn't work out, oh well. But it is a smart move if you're in larger leagues, if you can swing the roster spot. Sometimes, depending on your format, your league setting, if you're in a dynasty league, you may want to just get a younger guy with more upside for the long term. If you're in a deeper redraft league, you got the spot, you're probably going to want him just because he's got a pathway to touches. And it really depends on how you stacked up the rest of your roster. If you're heavy at wide receiver, you want wide receiver early, he may be one of your zero RB guys, just in case. but he's someone you don't want to be married to, but you don't want to get married to him anyways. It doesn't even matter because you're not paying anything to get him. I want to thank you for watching the show. It means a lot to me. If you stuck around this long, you might as well hit that subscribe button. It must have kept you entertained. And ring that bell. Tell your homies, and I'll catch you next time.